Welcome everybody to the 43rd episode of the Le Mans Odyssey. I actually went into the conclusion of November for this episode as opposed to the start, and they probably joined me at a critical crossroads for the season, as we've taken some heavy defeats where we didn't need them, but that's the way. But as you can see in the league, we are actually down in ninth position with a positive 2 goal difference and 22 points, with 5 wins, 7 draws and 3 defeats. Now that doesn't sound too bad, but it has been a very competitive season. Like you can see, Paris Saint-Germain are up to second now after 4 defeats. If we and like the other teams have lost more times than us, but they've won more games than us, so that gives them the extra points they need. And if we look at our home record, we've won half our games at home and have only just lost for the first time last week, as I'll explain. But our away record is pretty bad, as we've only won away once and have secured 3 draws and only won 6 points, so that is still rather disappointing. So it's still a long way to go to the season, but we could have been back up into 6th with a win in the game that I was about to mention. So what has happened since our Europa League exit? Well, it seemed to be going as planned, as we beat Tour revenge-wise by 2 goals to 1, but it took a long time to turn it around. Shebe Shrivers and then Gennaro Totino in the 90th minute, as Le Mans made life difficult for themselves for the first time out of many this season. We move on to Nice, and again they took the lead, and it took us a long time to break them down and equalise, and it required a substitution, bringing on Fusiani Cisse. So disappointing, but this draw, there have been some good draws, and this was definitely the best one, as Marseille twice came from behind to draw with us, or once came from behind to draw with us, but we scored 2 absolutely great goals, whereas they scored very scrappy ones, which is unfortunate. But I'd like to show you this one. We could have won it. I think we deserved it, but as you can see, they had a lot more shots, and we challenged them every now and again. But it, like, the fact that they went on an insane run of like 5 wins in a row, putting 5 past every team, including Paris Saint-Germain. That takes some doing, no matter who you are. So pause. Okay, let's slow us down a little bit. Yeah, so here we go. It's a goal kick from our goalkeeper. Cisse nods it down, and Omrani absolutely lashed it. He meant that with all his might. A superb shot, and Fusiani Cisse then delivered another goal. You can have a look at it here. Bang! Into the top of the net. Superb stuff. But unfortunately, Jordan Ayew prevented us from getting our first away win of the season against the champions. Saint-Étienne 0-0 away from home. Could have been better, but I think we'll have to tolerate that one, as Zhang Suesi was man of the match once again. That was unlucky. I think we should have won this one against Toulouse, though. I know you could argue it was another close game, but we had our chances and it just wouldn't go in for us. And it was Sissoko's turn to win man of the match this time, but I think we should have done better. So that meant we went 4 games without a win, but thankfully Fusiani Cisse turned on the style, embarrassing Patrick King on his return, and was probably one of the few performances where we could genuinely say we dominated our opponent, even if they had more shots. So that needs to be done more often by our team. They always like a challenge, and it pisses me off, but this one was a challenge too far. We gave it our best shot, but PSG were sensational and put 5 goals past us. Don't like that happening, but that's the way. I dropped Bernard though, in the hope of Hossein Boras keeping clean sheet, but he failed to do it, as we took a late lead with Fusiani Cisse, and unfortunately we gave it away. We stayed back as best we could, but they still got a goal anyway, and Koulibaly suffered a broken toe, which started a personnel crisis, which I'll also explain in a moment. But we did recover nicely to beat Valenciennes, but again we made it hard for ourselves, scoring an early goal thanks to my young left winger Amilouche Sali. You can see him there again. He's doing quite nicely. And then they equalised right on half time, but Delad scored on the 55th minute to put us through to the quarterfinals. This one we probably could have won. They had much better chances, but when they had a man sent off with 20 minutes to go, I felt we had the chances to win it, and I was really disappointed in my strikers not finishing off the chances. Like for some of these games we had to employ 3 strikers up front just to get a result, and that's very annoying and very unnecessary. Against Le Havre we finally well, it was no different. We finally got a cushion over our opponent, but they still had the better start, and we made a dog's dinner out of it, and we were lucky to get away with it. Shebe Shrivers got a really nice goal though. Away to Laval, we finally got our away win thanks to 1 goal from Anthony Delad, but he got an injury as well, which has kept him out for a little while. But unfortunately Bordeaux came up twice, home and away, in League and Cup, and have beaten us both times with plenty on the line there. They took the lead. We got a penalty back in the second half, but then they got 2 really nice goals. This one, the second one was scrappy, but this one was a nice free kick, and then we got a late comeback goal from Fusini Cisse, but it wasn't to be. Again, we just find ourselves not able to score when we need to, and then we don't manage to keep a clean sheet when we need to, so we can't make up our minds. And then even worse, we lost to their backup team courtesy of a single goal, but Shebe Shrivers missed a 2nd consecutive penalty after last season's disappointment in the Cup. It was unfortunate that he had to take it, but I still think with all his stats he should be well capable of taking penalties, such as 17 composure, 15 penalties, and that sort of thing. I'm naturally upset that he must have had a hidden attribute. He couldn't handle the big occasion. So that puts us in a precarious situation with a supremely difficult December. So we need to get results against Lyon, Montpellier, Sochaux and Lens before our winter break. And just to show you, Montpellier and Lyon have been great. Lens and Saint-Etienne have been average, but it's still enough. Or who was it? It was Sochaux. Yeah, Sochaux. There they are, excuse me. So we just have to be careful. You can see plus 33 goal difference for Marseille is absolutely ridiculous, and they can thank their Swiss master Haris Seferovic again. He is absolutely on fire, and he's truly unstoppable. So Marseille may not be comfortable just yet, but I still believe they'll be the likeliest team to win the title. But Montpellier have 2 games in hand, which must be put into consideration. And let's just describe that personnel crisis we're going through. So what happened ever since Koulibaly's injury, so he's still out. What happened was Zhang Xuesi was immediately called up to the Chinese under-23s, and he's been gone for the month of November to compete for the Olympic medal in Asia, or at least the Asia Games. So he was gone. Delaunay had a minor injury, which then made Sully Montari as soon as Delaunay recovered, Montari was injured, and we had Pierre Fay got an injury, Nzigi Mana got an injury. So what happened was, for our cup game we had to play for our league games we had to play Alouine Diawara, I should say, who was absolutely brilliant for every game except the Bordeaux game, because he had an under 18s game just a week, and I had to gamble on having an experienced defender still in the team. So we lost several defenders. We've got Ali Bamba requesting a transfer because we didn't get Europa League football as I promised, but thankfully no one is coming in for him, so I think we can silence him. So we had to play left back. Ferelio has just been injured as well. It's minor, but still very disappointing. So we had to play Kevin Fuchs. We had to play Coppers there. We had to play Bruno Leroy as well, so big trouble there. And my favourite new gen at the moment, Jordan Martin. He played, but he had a nightmare of a debut. So that just goes to show. Um, so it was just a very tough period, and we hope to recover for the month of December, especially since we missed out on a lot of prize money, and we continue to lose money, as stated by our poor attendances. Yeah, we're still very low, and we even hit 8,000 due to our poor run of form. So it's just a contrast to last season where we won loads of games and we lost loads of games. This time we're doing neither, but we're possibly in with a shout with the second half of the season to look forward to, and of course our brand new transfer, Jose Adi Carlos. But somehow we were granted more wage budget, which was very surprising, but I'm delighted about that. We'll just have to wait and see. We still have Alexander Gerndt failing to score goals, and just been a disappointing run of season form, like mid-season form. But some players have been great, and I've absolutely rave reviews for them. So Cissé's on 7, Omrani's 4, Shivers 4, Delad 3, Totino 3, Mahodo 2, and the rest of the goal scorers are on 1. But Shadley is out on loan, so don't mind him. But that's pretty much all I need to say, guys. It's a critical point in the season once more, and we'll come back at February as usual and hope to put our season back on track, because we need to get the top 6 or even top 5 yet again to go to meet our objectives. As a text message came in there, I'm sorry about that. Confidence. So our competition, we're not doing too well. So pressure's on, guys. I haven't been poorly ranked in the league before, but we'll just have to keep going, see what happens, and we'll speak to you again in a few months where we begin our season over again by playing Lens, Valenciennes and Lorient. So we'll come back for this Nice game, and we'll speak to you then. Bye.